Hello and welcome to Reno Radio. My name is Naomi Finlay and I am Australia's rapid renovation expert. And each week I will be bringing you valuable tips, information and amazing stories from around the world about renovation. Helping people create wealth through renovating is my passion, as well as creating healthy, wealthy and beautiful spaces to live in and to share. Thanks for spending time with me today. Now let the show begin. Hey guys, it's Naomi Finlay here, Australia's rapid renovation expert, and I am back with you for another success tip. Now, this time I would love to talk to you about teams. Now, for those of you who have heard of Napoleon Hill and Think and Grow Rich, you would know that he studied the most successful people around the world to see what characteristics they had in common that was making them so successful. Now, there were multiple tips, I think around 16 characteristics that these people had in common. Now, I believe in 5 of them so strongly in the space of renovation, and one of them is what I'm going to be talking to you about today. So I'm going to be talking to you about the importance of surrounding yourself in a mastermind team, and I cannot stress enough how important this is. Now, when you're creating your team, there are obviously some really formal things that you need to check off, like licenses and insurance and references, but there's a pile of other things that I really want you to consider, because it's not just about someone being qualified or someone having a license. They're essentials. It's also about how aligned they are with your team. Because remember guys, your team can be one of the biggest factors in bringing you on time and on budget each and every time. So apart from all the formal things, here are some of the things I want you to be thinking about when you're looking at your team. So number 1 is a mutual understanding. So guys, have you even shared your goals with your team? Do your team even know why you're doing what you are doing? That's the first thing. And if you have shared them, do they understand? Are you aligned? Do they understand why you are doing what you are doing, and are they on board for the ride? Number 2, do they have adaptive billing? So when I say this, it's always important to have a conversation with your team, and especially your trades, about the fact that when they continually work with you, job after job after job, their marketing costs and the costs per lead or per job are going to decrease. So could they look at taking that out of their hourly rate when they're working for you? Do they mark up on any suppliers they bring in? Do they mark up on any other trades that they bring in? These are conversations that it's so important to have early on and upfront, so that you can have clear communications around all billing, and it can set up a fruitful and win-win relationship moving forward. Number 3 is aligned values. Now, 3 of my top values and 3 of the things that are most important to me in my business and in life is trust, respect, and the ability to have fun, guys. And so this is an open conversation that, again, really early on, I have with my team about the importance of trust, respect for one another and for our fellow teammates, as well as the ability to have fun while we're doing it. Number 4, reliability. This is essential in a team, and it's essential that you have conversations with prospective team members about the importance of reliability, about how tight you run your ship, about how each trade affects another trade and each team member affects another team member, and about how it's absolutely essential that we are reliable and we communicate about our progress. Number 5, this rolls straight into communication, whether it's written, visual, verbal, or physical communication. That is one of the keys, one of the biggest keys to making sure that your site and your team run like a well-oiled machine. So that is certainly something you need to have a conversation about up front. All right, now the next one is about understanding that this is a very intense bit of a pressure cooker environment when you're working on a rapid renovation and you're all relying on one another to pull through to the other, and you all have a common goal and a win at the end that you all want to celebrate. Sometimes that environment can be a little bit like a pressure cooker. And so again, this is one of the conversations that I have with prospective team members and ongoing team members moving forward, that they understand that this can be an intense environment and that we are heavily relying on one another, and we are heavily pushing towards a common goal and a common outcome. So everyone's businesses have wins out of this. And lastly, guys, confidentiality. This is the 7th thing that I always talk about with my team. And it's not just in regard to what goes on site stays on site, but for example, imagine if it goes both ways. Imagine if I was getting a relatively discounted rate from my plasterer, and I then went and shared that with the general public or someone that could have been a prospective client of theirs, that they would have charged their normal non-discounted rate to. So confidentiality goes both ways. It's like any business relationship, guys. Confidentiality and trust are keys.